So what's up mga katropa pips? Welcome back ulit dito sa aking munting channel. At syempre, kung bago ka pa lang sa channel na ito, ay inaanyayahan ko po kayong i-subscribe po ang ating munting channel. At syempre, pindutin mo na rin ang notification bell para lagi nang updated sa mga video na gagawin ko na tulad nito. So huwag na natin patagalin mga katropa pips. Ang ating pag-uusapan ngayon ay syempre ang ating idolo na si Manny Pacquiao.
Here with Manny Robles. Manny, we're just going around getting predictions for the main event. You being a trainer, knowing boxing so well, how do you see the fight happening Saturday between Pacquiao and Ugas?
I think it's going to be a great fight. You know, a lot of people out there that don't know who Ugas is. Ugas is not your typical Cuban fighter or boxer, I should say. He's not a ringandao. He's not an Erislandy Lara that's going to go out there and stick and move and box. And they do it very well. He's not that type of fighter. Ugas is a fighter that's coming to fight. He's a banger. He's not not your typical Cuban boxer. He is a fighter. And, you know, obviously we all know about Manny Pacquiao. We know what he brings to the table. So I think it's going to be an interesting fight, man. I don't, you know, them people out there, don't miss it. I think it's, you know, there might be, I'm going Pacquiao. But don't be surprised if Ugas is able to come out there and pull the upset or you know, pull a shocker, man, because he can fight, he can bang.
So you're saying don't be surprised. Why? What about Ugas can get that upset?
Ugas, he's gonna be well. Look, first of all, you gotta see who Ugas is with. He's got a great trainer behind him, and Ismael Salas. Ismael Salas knows how to adjust very well in that corner. Get his boxers, get his fighters to follow his commands and make adjustments during the fights and bring the best out of fighters, as he's known for that. And I just think that Ugas, this is a great opportunity for him. He's never in a bad fight, and he's got a couple of losses here and there, but that's what makes him even a more dangerous fighter. You know, that he knows what it is to taste defeat. And so he understands that makes him a more dangerous fighter, and he understands that he's going up against the legendary Manny Pacquiao, and this is an opportunity of a lifetime for him. And I'm quite certain that he's gonna bring it to Manny.
How does Manny win?
Manny's Manny. Manny's gonna need, again. We're talking about corners. You got Freddie Roach in his corner, and being the great trainer that he is, and Manny Pacquiao having the experience that he has, he's gonna find a way to win. Whether he goes out there to box, get in, get out, use his speed, use his footwork. But like I said, or power even, because I think it's going to be a very, very interesting fight. I mean, I do see it going a distance, but I wouldn't be surprised if somebody gets a knockout. And I just think that for the people out of the audience out there that think Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao would have been, we all wanted to see that fight. But this fight, Ugas versus Pacquiao, is not far from being a great. Obviously, we go by names. You know, Pacquiao, Errol Spence, but Manny Ugas, he may not have the name that Pacquiao, obviously Pacquiao or Errol Spence do have. But every fighter is one fight away from the big time. Every fighter is one fight away from reaching the pinnacle of boxing, and this is the opportunity for Ugas, and that makes him a dangerous fighter.
Finally, do you think Manny would have beaten Spence?
Man, let me tell you, yes and no. I mean, it's a toss-up, man. I mean, I have a great deal of respect for Errol Spence. He's an incredible fighter, but you saw what Manny Pacquiao was able to do when everybody counted him out with. You got to help me when he won the world title.
Oscar.
No. His last fight, Thurman. Thank you very much, with Keith Thurman. You got to remember when everybody counted out Manny Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman, and look what he did. And so you can never count out Manny Pacquiao. He's never in a bad fight, never. So it's a I don't know, but I had it dead even. I had it 50-50. And this fight, I have it leaning more towards Manny Pacquiao, 60-40, but like I said, Ugas is a dangerous fighter, and I do believe it'll be a very interesting fight.
Mark, just quickly, I just want to get to your prediction. What does Manny have to do to beat Ugas, and what does Ugas have to do to beat Manny?
You know, Manny is his speed, his power. If that speed go to Ugas, heavy night. And Ugas is a steady fighter. He's a strong, so he's a chance.
He has a chance.
He's a chance.
Wow.
But if he can catch Pacquiao, because Pacquiao speed, power is good.
A lot of people said that Ugas is too slow for Manny.
Yeah, that's for sure. He's too slow, but Ugas there's a power. But if he catch Pacquiao, maybe Pacquiao will knock down. But Pacquiao is not good. He's good. He's strong. He's strong chin and fast legs.
Do you think if Manny wins, he'll retire in the ring?
No, he's not gonna retire for now, for sure. Because if he wins this fight, there's a next fight, Crawford or Spence. Because Spence is healing for his eyes. So after that, maybe they'll fight him.
Do you think Manny, the way he was looking, he would have ended up beating Spence?
For sure, for sure. Because Pacquiao is older, but the speed, the power is still there.
Mark, what do you want to say to all the American fans that are barely getting to know you and seeing your fights? What message do you want to send to them?
And to all Americans and Philippines, I hope please support our fight. And I want to show to the whole world that I'm the best in my division.
Undefeated.
Yeah, undefeated and continuing my still undefeated. Yeah.
Ugas and Manny Pacquiao. What's your prediction? How does that fight play out?
It can go either way because Ugas is a great fighter, and everybody gets a chance to win. You know what I mean? Pacquiao's an enormous good fighter, powerful, fast, speed. But Ugas has got that boxing style where, you know what, man, that's a hard style he has. You know what? He moves around. He's very sharp. He's smart. So, like I said, anything can happen. Anybody can win at any day. It all depends who makes the mistakes.
But who do you expect to win?
Well, I got that edge maybe a little bit on Pacquiao. You know what? Because he's been looking good. He's been looking good. So there's an edge on him, you know what I mean? But like I said, anything can happen.
What happens in your son's fight against Victor Ortiz? How does that play out, and how do you see Robert winning, in your opinion?
Well, it's going to be a great fight. Victor Ortiz comes to fight. He's a strong fighter. He fought a lot of good fighters. They both fought Mayweather, and I just think that my son is so well prepared for this fight that he's going to be victorious. And we put in a lot of good work, and he's very sharp in the ring right now. He's smart. Whatever he brings to the table, box, brawl, whatever it takes, Robert's ready for that. You know what? It's pretty hard to say, you know what I mean? Because, this is a fight that we're not looking for the knockout. If it comes, it comes. Because, you know what? He's a dangerous fighter. So we don't just look for the knockout. So we got to do whatever it takes to win this fight. We got to be smart here.
How does Manny Pacquiao win on Saturday night, and how does Ugas win on Saturday night?
I think Manny Pacquiao wins on decision because Ugas comes to fight, no matter who it is. And if Ugas wins, I think it has to be by knockout.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think you can outbox him?
I don't know, man. Dude, I mean, look at Thurman's a great boxer. And, man, he was eating Thurman up. So, Manny, his quick feet, quick hands, punching power, it's a lot to deal with, especially his a lot of little feints, little herky-jerky stuff. And for Ugas to transition into this fight within the last 10 days. I mean, I found out with you. Yeah. Transition into fighting the left hand, especially he's been sparring, getting ready for Maidana, who's a right-handed fighter. So, I'm interested to see how he comes and makes those adjustments.
You picking Manny, or are you picking Ugas to win?
I'm picking Manny.
And that's what we expect. Nice guy, good, proper champion, carries himself really well, and he'll bring his best. Unfortunately, his best isn't enough. Not being mean, but it's just not. He doesn't have the experience level that Pacquiao has. Doesn't have who Pacquiao's fought, and Manny's in shape and determined to make a statement. He was going to do that with Spence, but now it'll just be Ugas.
Do you think he stops Ugas?
No, I predict stop. He needs to make a statement.
Jose, break down the main event for us. What does Manny have to do to win, and what does Ugas have to do to win?
Man, first of all, man, I'm super excited to see this fight, man. You know, with Manny, you know what? I mean, everybody knows what Manny's going to bring to the table, man. He's going to throw a lot of punches, use those angles. Ugas, I think he's taller. He has to use his reach, I think, and maybe go to the body and don't stay in front of Manny. That's the best thing that I think that he should do, kind of move and use angles as Manny will, I think. And I'm just so excited to see this fight, man. I think we're going to have a great fight. I can't wait to see. But and this time, man, I like both of the fighters, and I know both of the fighters very well. I'm going to be happy whoever wins. Whoever wins, that they deserve to win. I mean, Manny, maybe this could be his last fight. Ugas is still going to stay in boxing, and either guy, man, I'm going to be super happy regardless what happens. But I think both of them are going to give us a great show, and I can't wait to see that fight on Saturday.
If you had to pick a winner, Jose, who would you pick?
If I had to pick a winner, man, to be honest with you, if I had to pick a winner, I would probably go with Ugas because no. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. If I had to pick a winner, because Manny has been. I mean, to Manny, he's won so many titles. He has given us so much. Ugas is barely, being a champion and touching the surface. And it is just the feeling, when you're a champion and you win fights. Yeah, man, it just feels so good. And I feel that Ugas has not been in the stage that Manny Pacquiao has. And the only reason I would want him to feel that, that, and beating Manny, man, it will stand the books. It will make history to me. So and that's the reason. But it's a tough fight, man, and that's why I didn't want to choose one, because I like both of the fighters, and I like I said, whoever wins, I'm going to be real happy. But just for Ugas to man, it will change his life, actually, and he's still going to continue fighting, and Manny might not. He might be president in the Philippines or whatever. That's what I hear, and maybe this could be his last fight.
Tomas, you actually fought Yordenis Ugas. Give me your perspective about this Pacquiao versus Ugas fight. Háblame un poco sobre esta pelea de Pacquiao y contra Ugas. Tú peleaste contra Ugas. Háblame un poco sobre cómo podemos ver no ver, pero cómo se va a hacer esta pelea.
Mira, yo pienso que es una pelea 50 y 50, es una pelea que mucha gente está pensando que Ugas va a perder muy fácil, pero yo no lo veo de ese tipo de manera. Ugas ha crecido en el deporte, él tiene más energía, él tiene más, su nivel de confianza está más crecido, y eso puede ser un problema dentro de la pelea para Manny, porque su confianza está muy alta.
What does Manny have to do to win the fight? ¿Qué necesita hacer Manny para ganar la pelea?
Manny tiene que hacer lo que siempre hace. Manny es una leyenda viviente, es una leyenda viviente activa. Entonces, él siempre hace lo mejor para ganar sus peleas. Yo no puedo decir lo que hace Manny. Manny tiene que decir a mí qué puedo hacer para ganar una pelea.
And on the flip side, what do you think Ugas has to do to win the fight? ¿Qué necesita hacer Ugas para ganar la pelea?
Mira, yo pienso que Ugas tiene que hacer una pelea cuerpo a cuerpo. Mucha gente piensa que lo tiene que tener de afuera. Manny Pacquiao está rápido, sus movimientos son muy rápidos de piernas, se mueve a lado, laterales, y yo pienso que si Ugas lo mantiene de afuera va a hacer que Manny que lo golpee. Pero yo creo que cuerpo a cuerpo él tiene un poco más de chances en trabajar cuerpo a cuerpo y no darle la distancia a Manny, que él desarrolle sus combinaciones de 4, 5, 6, 7 golpes que Manny tira. Y yo pienso que cuerpo a cuerpo Manny no va a tener un chance de desarrollar una combinación tan larga, que quizá no te coja con los 2, 3 primeros golpes, pero te coge con el 4, con el 5. Entonces yo pienso que eso va a ser la diferencia en la pelea, si Ugas puede mantenerlo la pelea cerrada, close. Yo pienso que va a ser una tremenda pelea.
Wow, kind of like Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn was close to close with Manny. Jeff Horn estaba encima de Manny Pacquiao.
Encima de Manny. Yo pienso que si yo pelearía con Manny, eso yo haría. Yo estuviera encima de Manny, yo no puedo comparar mi velocidad con la de Manny, no puedo comparar mi sabiduría con la de Manny. Manny es una leyenda viviente dentro del ring. Lo único que yo lo puedo vencer es cuerpo a cuerpo, empujándolo y que no desarrolle su cantidad de combinaciones y diferentes combinaciones que él tira dentro de la pelea, porque si le da espacio, cuando viene los laterales son muy buenos para Manny. Él se te mete para la izquierda como se te mete para la derecha y no sabe de dónde él tira los golpes que no son correctos en el boxeo. Él tiene un estilo que no es correcto, que si un peleador tira jazz, derecha, tú sabes cómo hacerle pasar estos golpes, pero los golpes de Manny son diferentes. Entonces, para tú tener una defensa para estos golpes, yo pienso que es cuerpo a cuerpo, tienes que jugártela y jugártela esta noche y tratar de hacer una pelea cuerpo a cuerpo. Yo sé que es una pelea que cansa, una pelea agotadora, pero es una forma que yo veo de poder ganar a Manny Pacquiao como hizo Jay Home. Fue una pelea cerrada, yo vi ganar a Manny Pacquiao, pero él hizo la lucha, estuvo ahí y consiguió una victoria que es muy controversial, pero tuvo una victoria con el trabajo y el plan que hicieron.
The question is, who wins on Saturday night in your opinion? ¿Quién gana este sábado?
Mira, yo pienso que es una pelea 50 y 50. Yo soy del equipo de Ugas, yo digo la verdad, es una pelea 50 y 50.
Undefeated Steven Torres. Bro, you're a big dude. How do you see the main event going? Pacquiao versus Ugas. Break it down for us.
I think it's going to be a great fight. Each fighters are both coming game. I'm a fan of both, so I can't really say who's going to win. You know what I mean? Each fight, but if the fight were to go the distance, I'd give it to Pacquiao. Pacquiao's a legend.
What does Ugas need to do to win the fight?
Stay active and throw a lot of punches. I think he did really good in the fight with Sean Porter. I think if he does the same thing, has the same game plan with Manny Pacquiao, I think he could pull this off.
And what about Manny on the flip side? Do you think just be him, or there's some specific things that he has to do for Ugas?
Manny on the flip side, just be Manny. Yeah. Just come game, be ready, and just fight.
All right, I'm gonna put you on the hot seat. Who wins on Saturday?
Who wins on Saturday? Oof. That's hard to say, man. I'm a big fan of both. I think 50-50. Yep.
Steven, you're an undefeated guy, 4-0. Let us know a little bit about yourself, and for fans that are getting to know who you are.
Okay. My name is Steven Torres. I'm 4-0, 4 knockouts. I'm from Reading, Pennsylvania. I'm a Puerto Rican heavyweight. I'm 23 years old. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight and put on a performance for my show, or for my city of Reading, Pennsylvania, and my island of Puerto Rico.
In terms of your development, man, I guess how do you see yourself developing at this point? And obviously your goal is to be a heavyweight champion, but how do you see your development?
Right now we're just taking it fight by fight. We're not going to rush into anything. We're taking the best fights that we can, and we're just moving up slowly.
Big Puerto Rican, bro. You guys don't grow that big. I don't think I've ever seen one in a long, long time.
I'm 6'8", about 250 pounds. Come with a lot of power, a lot of speed, and I work hard.
I think that the last one, maybe John Ruiz, but he was half Mexican, half Puerto Rican.
Yeah, John Ruiz. Yeah, John Ruiz is a beast.
A lot of people are saying this is 50-50, Sean, with Pacquiao and Ugas.
Maybe 50-50 on paper, and I'm not downplaying Ugas because he's an Olympian. He's had a lot of great wins. He's holding a belt that is ours. But I see stylistically wise, I see him being the right style for the Senator. He's a little slow. He's aggressive. He wants to fight. He's got a lot of heart. And I think that's going to be his downfall. And the Senator's speed and power, somewhere between 7 and 9. I see the Senator coming up with a stoppage, very similar to the Lucas Matisse fight. Maybe a body shot. Yeah. Yeah, because again, you had the Senator training for Earl Spence. You had Ugas training for Fabian Madonna. Different mindset, different training. Ugas was up, with the Cuban people, helping with the protests, doing good stuff for his people. And I don't think he was really focused on the fight. Because, again, when you wake up in the morning, I'm fighting Fabian Madonna. Maybe you don't run as hard, maybe you don't do whatever you do. Manny Pacquiao's thinking every day, Earl Spence, Earl Spence, Earl Spence. And he trained harder for Earl Spence than he did for Keith Thurman. As you saw, he brought the stick out, the runs, that just a little farther, a little this. Even though he had to take a few different days off because of his age, but he managed everything to me perfectly. And you yourself, you saw him in the gym, you saw him in the runs. The man is smiling 24/7. He's enjoying his 26 years. He's enjoying this moment. He really thrives off of being around people, and I've seen that. If you couldn't have people, he would have never fought with no people during the pandemic. If there's not at least 100 people in the room or 200 at a run, he's not enjoying himself.
Do you think Manny would end up beating Errol?
Honestly, would have never put him in the fight if I didn't think he was going to beat him. And look at where Earl is now. I always said he was damaged goods. I mean, unfortunately, that wreck did a lot more internally to him than now we know. But you don't do an Evel Knievel at 110 out of a car and skid across the cement on your face, your body, whatever, and not have possibly some internal, a little more damage. Because, you know, I had seen some sparrings and different stuff. I think it was the right time. I just think it was the right time. And I watched him against Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia, not even trying that hard, was 8-4. So you imagine Manny Pacquiao going at 110%. So I really do believe the timing was right for everything. And it's a shame because, you know, I don't know if we'll never know, but we're definitely not going to know on August 21st.
Do you guys think that you will end up fighting Errol in November, December?
Like I told a lot of people, you can't even speculate on it. The guy literally had surgery 4 days ago. Until he's physically cleared by a doctor, then I mean, it's not even really to talk about it. And it's kind of a disservice to him. Let him get healthy, let him figure it out, let the doctors, let everybody. And in that, you know, that's the problem. The senator doesn't have time on his side. You know, he's got 4 or 5 months that before he takes his next step into politics, that he has to get one more fight in. God willing, we win, you know, Saturday night.
Jeff, break down this Pacquiao-Ugas fight for us.
I don't know a whole lot about Ugas other than, you know, what I've seen. He is a good fighter. He's a good fighter, and I think that he's gonna represent himself well. But you know, at the end of the day, I mean, the guy still came here 11 days. So I mean, you can't really give a guy 100% chance of winning, especially with being in with one of the greatest fighters in the history of boxing. So I see Pacquiao winning the fight. Do I think that he'll stop him? I don't really know, but if he does, it wouldn't surprise me because no one knows what he has. So I mean, it should be an interesting fight, though.
Do you think Manny, the way he was looking in clips and training, would have beaten Errol?
I mean, that don't mean nothing. You can do anything you want to in training. That don't mean nothing. That had nothing to do with the damn fight. So no, I wouldn't say that would mean anything. I just, you know, I feel very unfortunate what happened to Earl because it was his biggest payday, and actually it was his chance to actually be the guy that could probably carry the torch, you know, to the next millennium. As far as, you know, he could be the top guy out there and making the money that he should be making. You know, he's just had so much bad luck. You know, I feel sorry for him. You know, but boxing is a sport that still has to go on, and I think that Manny's a great fighter, and I think that this is just going to add to his legacy.
Style-wise, how did you see Manny and Errol? Like, how would have that played out style-wise? Seeing a guy like Errol that throws a lot, good jab.
Well, I mean, I think that Earl he was going to have to chase Manny. So the fight was going to be tough. I think that fight was going to be tough too because, I mean, Earl is more like a plotter as opposed to, you know, he don't dance really that much, but he's a very big puncher, you know, and throws good combinations when he does get close to you. And so I think that was going to be a great fight as well. A great fight that probably would. I ain't gonna say how this fight is gonna turn out because I don't really know, but I just know that would have been a great fight going both ways, and I think that it would have been a close fight, but I still would have leaned toward Earl.
Ugas to win has to win. Pacquiao to win has to win. Boom.
Ah, Victor, come on.
Figure it out.
You know, Manny's been preparing for a fight that's bigger than this, I think, and the only thing he really has, he has a big overhand right, and the thing is, that's what you have to watch out for. That's what he's always trying to land, and he's not. It's not. Manny's not going to let him hit him with that. So we worked on it, and we had 3 new sparring partners come in and work 3 days, and everything was fine.
With the tape that you reviewed, I think his best performance, Ugas, was against Sean Porter. You know, what'd you make overall of that fight that he had with Porter? And do you think he could have a similar approach in this fight?
Possibly. I mean, it was a close fight, and some people thought he could have won that fight, but it was, again, it was a close fight, and Porter ended up winning the fight, and Manny's boxed with Sean Porter 1,000 times. They've been sparring partners for a long time, and they would always go work together and so forth. So, if that's the best guy he can beat, I don't see that. I don't really think he goes that deep.
So what's up mga katropa peps? Siyempre muli tayong nagbabalik para sa ating pasalamat. So maraming salamat po sa mga sumusuporta sa aking munting channel. At siyempre, sana po patuloy niyo pong suportahan ang ating munting channel. Sana po lahat po ng mga gusto ng mga ganitong video ay paki-like lang po, paki-share at siyempre paki-subscribe na rin. At pindutin mo na rin ang notification bell dyan sa gilid para lagi kang updated sa mga video na tulad nito. So hanggang sa muli po, peace out, boom!
You're a superhero.